afternoon, everybody. We're back here at the Gammain Sports Ground. Magnificent afternoon for football. In fact, it's actually too good. We're desperate for rain here in the riverina. We want to get those crops germinated and get the lot of crop in and get some sheep feed going. Once again here this afternoon, our man Baz Leffler's bringing you the images. Baz's assistant Tammy. And Tammy's taken the camera down to the ground there to watch the teams run out, and she's doing a great job there. And then she'll come back up and work her magic in the back of the box. And then we've also got our #1 commentator, Andrew Corbett, here today. Andrew, the Lions here today against the MCUE goannas. We'll just refer to them as the goannas today. And the Lions are delving into a couple of new lion cubs here being blooded here today against this goannas outfit. Good afternoon, Andrew.
Thanks very much, Guy. It's good to be back here at the Gammain Sports Ground. Yes, Gammain's got 2 more debutants today lining up. Will be their 6th one for the year now. And so Boston McCree, son of Christian McCree, is having his first game in senior football. Christian coached the Lions to a premiership back in 2006 and then had another stint coaching the Lions in 18, 19 and 2018, 2019 and 2020. So it's great to see Boston out there. And also Jake Underwood having his first senior game for the Lions. His dad Danny had a good career here at the Lions during that era, so it's great to see those 2 young fellas lining up for the Lions today. The Lions coming off a 30-point loss to Collingully last week. They were blown away in the first quarter, but then matched the Demons in the rest of the game in the second, third and fourth quarter. So they'll be looking to respond today against a side, goannas, that have had 3 games but haven't been able to notch the 4 points, and so they'll be hungry. They just went down to Coolman in their last game by a solitary point, so by all reports they were in front and they lost it, but it should be a good tussle, both sides with some young players playing and a little bit of experience, and as we said, great conditions. The Lions will be looking to bounce back from that loss. Turnovers were a big factor against Gully, and they'll be looking to rectify that area today. So we should be entertained by a very good game of football. And
looking out in the centre there, Andrew, Josh Walsh has won the toss. He's elected to kick to the northern end of the ground, the railway end of the ground. And yes, we've mentioned superb conditions, bright, sunny conditions, probably 22, 23 degrees. That's probably about the peak of the temperature. But once again, the water runners, they'll be busy. The players will be wanting plenty of water as the game unfolds. So, Andrew, fair to say, fair bit of youth on either side. So, game could be quick enough at times.
Yeah, that's right, Guy. Game could be quick enough, and both sides will be looking to be on top of their skills, and it should be a very entertaining game. The Lions have also, last week, Jed Corbett debuted with his first senior game in football, along with Ashton Lance, works for Ben Cruikshank, boy from Bunbury in Western Australia. So shout out to his family all the way across to WA there, along with last week we had another one along with Brad Matters the week before, the lad from South Australia. We've had 6 so far for the year, which argues well for the club going forward, but we look to consolidate with a win today and keep in touch with that top 5.
Well, importantly, Andrew, the club has got that depth to call on, but would like to settle down into some sort of a pattern of a side shortly, I guess, and but anyway, that'll be all up to a player availability and injury and whatever. But we'll see how today's goes. On Friday just gone locally, of course, last weekend there was a Guard of Honour lined up, minute silence at Crossroads Oval for Terry Lennon. So we on Friday the Terry Lennon's funeral was held, and no stranger to the Lions. Shane Lennon did a terrific job of the eulogy of his father's funeral. A couple of points I picked out, Andrew picked up at the funeral. As a young fella, Terry told him week in, week out, he said, son, 2 things you want to remember: hold your feet and mark it first grab. So all those years later, Shane is instilling that that side of the play into his players that his father instilled in him right from the junior days. Yeah, hold your feet and maintain your feet and mark it first grab.
Yes, pretty important information that.
As we wait for players to take their positions here and the field to clear, runners go to the boundary, last minute instructions. Hardly a breeze, won't be any effect whatever.
Yeah, well, the Lions have made 4 changes from last week's game. Jesse Landers returning from that 1-match suspension against Coolman earlier in the year, the first game of the year. So he's back today. And Sid Lenton is coming to the side along with Boston McCree and Jake Underwood.
So we're set here for a start. Umpire just waiting for the appropriate time to tick over.
Pretty evenly sized, the midfield contestants. And
not much different in the height of the ruckman, Andrew.
No, Smith in the ruck for the goannas, and Ashton Lance. Ashton Lance wins the first tap. Charging through forward is Tom Anderson. Gets a handball over the top looking for Jake Taylor. One back inside to Tom Anderson. Doesn't hit the target. Regathered by Taylor. On to Sam Martin. He keeps this one long and low looking for Jack Power. Goes through the hands of Tom Anderson there and gathered by Powell back inside to Taylor. Gets his 3rd possession in a matter of a minute. Goes low looking for Jed Corbett, but it's cut off by Mangapla on that last line of defence. They look to bring it inside and looking for Foley. Finds him. Quick hands on to Collins, one of their prime movers off half back. Go wide. Gathered by Martin there. He dives on the ball. It's in the back. Play on, says the umpire. Coming in over the top is Anderson. Ball pops out, but the umpire will ball it up.
It's all the Lions in the first minute or 2.
Lance taps that one down. Anderson in on top of that, kicks it off the ground. It's marked by Jed Corbett, not 15, but he's wrapped up in the tackle. The umpire will ball it up. Lanskin Smith in the ruck. Smith wins that one down to Anderson. He's wrapped in a tackle. Ball's gone forward to Dan Foley. Punched clear by Mango. Ball's on the ground there. Gathered by Dan Foley. Campar spills 3. Gathered by Mango. Back to Dan Foley. Gets a handball backwards to Matt Hamlin. He can send this one looking for Powell in the forward line. And he's too strong and marks just shy of the goal square.
Yeah, too strong for his opponent on that occasion. Worked him under the ball and then reflexed back, took the mark. Good delivery from Matt Hamlin, nice and low. He could see the Lions player there had to position himself. Drop punt, goal. First goal
of Jack Powell.
Goal of the Lions through Powell.
Yeah, well, Jack Powell missed last week's game as well with a foot injury. He's only played the 1 game against Coolman, so it's good to have him back in the side up in that forward line. There's a few, some young fellas there that haven't had a lot of experience, and with Dan Foley and Powell up there as targets.
So that young fellas need a bit of experience around them, Andrew. So one straight goal here with 2.5 minutes gone at the Gamone Sports Ground. No breeze, whatever.
Langston Smith in the ruck. Smith taps that down. Grabbed by Foley. Kicks this one forward. Burhop and Schiller in a race for the ball. They both overrun it. Gathered by Schiller. Keeps his feet. Sends it in forward, but it's punched clear by Matt Hamlin into the arms of Pulver, and he'll give Mango Goannas their first goal.
One goal apiece here at the sports ground, Gamone Sports Ground. Quick reply there from the Goannas.
Lewis Pulver, very dangerous forward there, and bit of opportunity, optimistic there. Results in the Goannas' first goal of the games. So one apiece.
Andrew suggesting that there may not be a lot in this game today, not a lot of difference. Youth on both sides. So we'll see how the afternoon unfolds.
Lance taps that one down, coming through again as Anderson. Kick forward by Hamlin, it's cut off by Collins. He goes wide, looking for Smith. He gets a hand pass back over his head. It's gathered by Angel there for the Goannas, but it's out over the sideline.
We'll see a throw-in out there, out on the Noble wing. DJ's Tyres there, sponsoring that part of the ground, and the Gammain Bakery. Terrific sponsors.
Ball's thrown in. Smith with front position. He taps this down into the path of Foley. He is appealing for a free kick, but the umpires found one for the Lions, and it'll go to Seb Hamlin, across half back. He looks to switch, comes towards Mango's goals, finds Tom Quinn. Chips one over the top to Boston McCree, his first possession in senior football. Takes the mark. Gets a hand pass back to Joe Foley. Back again to whence it came, to Seb Hamlin on that far half-back flank. He comes inside, finds Tom Quinn. Go wide again to Boston McCree. He can send this long, put under pressure. Misses the first kick, regathers, keeps his feet, sends this long. Ball's over the back there, gathered by Sid White. Swings on his left, looking for Powell, and it finds him right on the chest.
Yeah, dropped it out in front of him nicely. Thought about quick pass off, but no, he's going to go back and take a shot. He's going to bring it around the corner, Andrew, I think, by the look of it.
Looks like a guy.
I've got to get used to it. They won't drop that. He's got a kick from about 35, and on this occasion, no, it's hooked too far. Yeah. One behind.
One behind.
1 goal, 1 to the Lions. Nearly 6 minutes gone. Yeah, he just overcorrected that that banana kick on that occasion. I don't know whether you call that a banana or just over your shoulder, Andrew. What do you call that?
Oh, around the corner.
Round the corner,
yeah, around the corner, we'll call it. As Goannas look to bring this in, they're going wide to the shed side, but sitting under this is Josh Walsh, takes a good strong mark. Looks to send this down. There's 2-on-1 with Foley and Powell. Coming over the top was Jed Corbett, but it's going to be paid to Dan Foley, I think, in front.
Yeah, I think the Goannas just rode him in the back there without much intent. Do you think, Andrew?
It was hard to say. It could be the reason, Guy.
We weren't side onto that contest, but anyway, we've got a great view looking behind Dan Foley. He'll just unload inside the 50 with that right foot drop punt. He comes in, hunched over the ball with that familiar skip. No, offline.
Going wide out to the pocket, and it's marked by Mango in that pocket. They look to switch here. They've got ball dropped there by Reynoldson. It comes inside to Matt Hamlin. He goes short looking for Jake Taylor, and he marks about 40 metres out from goal.
That's within his range. Jake Taylor can kick this, particularly as there's hardly a breeze against him. Just the sun beaming down. He'll have to kick unload from 45. Comes in, right foot, drop punt. Won't make the distance on this occasion, but marked by
Powell again.
Strong mark by Powell. The ball dropped a bit and he read it best.
His third mark for the quarter.
Yeah, the ball didn't have the carry and Powell read it the best. positioned himself well to take it virtually uncontested in the finish. Right from the edge of the top of the square, straight over the goal umpire's head there.
That's his second.
The Lions 2-1-13. The Goannas 1 straight goal. 8 minutes gone here at the Gammain Sports Ground. Good sponsors at the northern end of the goal there. We've got Alan Harris McDonald, Elders Wagga, John Banson's son. We appreciate all our sponsors. Might give us a shout out if they're enjoying the broadcast sometime, just see who we've got on board.
Back to the centre of the ground. Smith wins this ruck. Down to Matt Hamlin. Ball comes free. Gathered by Fitzsimmons. Gathered again by Anderson. He kicks one forward. Coming out to meet it is Jed Corbett. Gathered by Angel. Gets a hand pass back towards Mango's direction. And the umpire's going to call for a ball up.
Ball up on the point of the eastern wing.
Lance and Smith. Lance gets the ruck, but down into the arms of Wheeler for Mangapla, but it's cut off on the wing there by Shannon Butterfield. Looks to come inside, finds Boston McCree. Hand pass on to Tom Quinn, kicks this one high, sitting under it is Powell, and he's too strong again. That's his 4th mark for the corner.
Yes, too strong in the body for his opponent on that occasion. Tom Quinn put plenty of height in the ball. Jake Powell read it best. Was able to hold his Goannas opponent and then just put those big arms up when it mattered. As Terry Lennon said, 1 grab, son, 1 grab. Comes in, he'll kick from 25. Goal umpire does not move. Straight over his head at the northern goal. The Lions 3-1-19. The Goannas 1 straight goal. 10 minutes gone now. He's got his eye in today, Powell, Andrew.
Certainly has, Guy. He's marking everything that's coming his way. He was in hospital Monday with an infected foot, but he's had a miraculous recovery.
Well, whatever they did for him worked. Baz, you got a bit of foot trouble. You better find that doctor.
It's only 1 leg.
Oh, it's only...
So back to the centre of the ground. Ashton Lance and Tom Smith in the ruck for Mango. Lance taps that one forward into the path of Matt Hamlin. He toes it off the ground. Coming through is Mango. Gathered by Collins across half-back. He goes wide, finds Wheeler on the wing. Goes forward looking for Castles, their recruit from Canberra. He spills it. Kicked high by Boston McCree. He's had a good start to this quarter. And the ball's on the half-forward flank there. Mango attempt to clear this one. Come inside. The ball's on the ground. Coming through is Schiller. He kicks hurriedly and finds Sam Martin in the centre of the ground. Plays on quickly. Finds Matt Hamlin on the wing. The clubhouse side. He goes short to Burhup. Don't know if it was 15, but the umpire says it was. He's going long looking for the man of the moment, and he's marked it again. Jack Powell. He's on the 50 now.
Yeah, it was a measured kick. Terrific.
Very good kick.
That's what you want into your forward line. We say it every week. Not every player is capable of it, but that's what you want to be on the end of, Andrew.
Champagne delivery.
We've got a great view behind him. He'll just unload inside the 50. Bit deeper than 45-degree angle. Gives it everything. It's a goal. Northern end of the ground. Great start for the Lions here. The Lions 4-1-25. The Goannas 1 straight goal. 12 minutes gone here. Halfway through the quarter virtually. So a really good start. Sam Martin be very happy with that, Andrew.
Yeah, very much so. They were very slow to start last week, and it's good to see this week they're right on the boil.
I dare say all week he hasn't let them forgot about that slow start. Matt Hamlin once again busy in that centre, getting it out. First use of the ball, so important.
Jeffro Peck's coming to the ruck. Castle's up high. The ball's into the path of Matt Hamlin. Handball's over the top to Sam Hamlin. Gets a quick kick away, looking for Tom Anderson. He marks just shy of centre forward. He can play on quickly. Kicks this one long and low. And it's marked by Jed Corbett on the half forward flank. He's going to go back and have a shot. He's about 40 metres out. So distance shouldn't trouble him.
So we've got Jed Corbett in his second senior game for the Lions. Son of a gun here beside us here in the commentary box, of course. Yeah, he's going to have to be kicked a little bit more than 40. Nice run up, right foot, drop, punt. Goal umpire, no, taps his shoulder, just fades to the left. One behind there at the northern end of the ground to Jed Corbett. Lions 4-2, 26. Goannas, one straight goal, 14 minutes gone.
Collins looks to bring this one in. Goes long outside to the far wing. Sitting under it is Seb Hamlin. Ball's punched over the back. Gathered by Burhop. Oh, he fumbles there. Wheeler's putting pressure. And it's out over the sideline.
Be thrown in out there in front of the JLEC, Jason Lindsell Electrical, with his team of guys around the town, the riverina. Got all his apprentices. Great to see the local jobs.
Castles and Peck in the ruck. Castle taps it over the top into the arm of Tom Anderson. The ball comes free, gathered by Butterfield inside to Burhop. Back to Martin, to Peck, to Burhop in the centre of the ground. Chain of handballs here. He sends this one long, looking for Powell again. He's got front position. Ball spoiled there by Mango. They look to clear here through Foley's hand pass hits the ground. Pressure from the Lions here. Burhop dives in on top and the umpire almost called for a ball up. He's letting it go, but he's finally called for one.
Yeah, pressure there from the Lions. Trapped it in, Andrew, so they'll be looking for a repeat entry. It's just outside the 50.
Peck taps this good tap down to Tom Anderson. Sends this one long, looking for young Hattie there. And it's held up on the half-forward flank.
Another ball up out there on the right on the half-forward flank, eastern end of the ground. The eastern side of the ground, northern end for the Lions.
Jed Corbett and Smith in the Castle in the ruck. Jed Corbett wins the tap down, but it's gathered by Castle. Hand passes out into the path of Angel. He breaks the tackle. Hand passes back inside to Sam Sheila. Back to Castles. Sends this one long to the half-forward line for the Goannas. Grabbed by Tom Quinn. Breaks the tackle there. Back to Joe Foley to Tom Quinn, who's wrapped up in another tackle, and the umpire called for a ball up.
Always attacks the ball pretty fierce, Tom Quinn.
Had a good game last week, and Smith taps this down to Schiller, gets one on into the path of Mangapla there. He scoops it up, and it's wrapped up there by the Lions. The umpire called for a ball up.
So ball up in front of the Mango goal, southern end of the ground.
Peck and Smith in the ruck. Boston McCree gathers this one in, and he's wrapped up in a tackle there.
Almost could have been paid in the back, but umpire's not delivering on that one.
Peck in the ruck, gathered by Fitzsimmons there, but on the last line of fence is Josh Walsh. He looks to clear this one, but it's going to be marked by young Angel of Mangapla, 40 metres out from goal.
He's not quite hard up the boundary. He fancies that Andrew is going back to have a good shot. It'll take everything he's got, I reckon. I don't know his history, but we're about to find out.
His first season of senior football. Kicks on its way. It's going right to the square, and it's forced through by the Lions.
Lions 4-2-26. The Goannas 1-1-7. 17 and a half minutes gone now at the den.
Burhop brings it out to Josh Walsh in the back pocket. Looks to switch. Goes back to Tom Quinn in the goal square. Go over the top. Dangerous kick here, but finds Seb Hamlin. He plays on hand pass to Zach Burhop. He goes wide. Finds Dan Foley on the wing. He looks to come back inside, fakes the handball, sends it forward, looking for Sid White. Ball spoiled there by Mangapla.
We'll have a ball in out there in front of the Louis Dreyfus Grains there, the delivery site up there between Coolaman and Mara.
Good spoil there by Moller. Lanch in front position, but it's clearance here by Mangapla sitting under this side. Bit of lack of talk there. Burhop and Seb Hamlin collide.
Miscommunication there on that occasion. Zach Burhop holding his left arm as he jogs back to his defensive back pocket.
Smith taps that down into the path of Woodhouse there. He gets a kick forward. Coming out to meet it is Mangapla there. Get one back inside to Woodhouse. And it's wrapped up there across half-back flank. The umpire called for a ball up. Lanch in front position, but Smith taps it down. Charging through is Ethan Schiller. Kicks forward. Sitting under this is Josh Walsh. And regathered by Flynn Collins, who kicks Mangapla's second goal.
Josh Walsh just unable to complete that grab on that occasion. The Mango player was good enough to shark the spill and snap a goal at the southern end, the Waterview Street end of the ground. The Lions 4-2-26, the Goannas 2-1-13, 20 minutes gone now.
Lions will be disappointed there. They outnumbered Mangapla 2-1, but...
Yeah, they had the bases covered, Andrew, but Josh Walsh couldn't hold the mark, and it spilled favourably. Well, the Goanna player made good position, of course. He put himself in that position and read it well.
Back to the centre of the ground. Lanch and Castles. Lanch over the top. Gathers the ball, but he's wrapped up in a tackle by Ledden, the lad from East Wagga Coringal.
Baz has spotted a bit of smoke in the distance, but it's just a stubble burn. Nothing to worry about, Baz.
Castles taps that down. It's picked up by Schiller there. He's wrapped up in a tackle. The ball spills free. Out the back to Matt Hamlin. He dodges around one. Trying to go forward. Back to Boston McCree. Back to Matt Hamlin. He can go wide. Finds Tom Anderson. He can send this one forward. Looking for Sid White. Comes inside. The ball's on the ground there. Cleared by Mangapla. Good tackle by Sid Lanton. Ball's kicked back in. Looking for Sid White over the back. Numbers here for Mangapla, but like it was for the Lions moments ago, they outnumbered Sid White 3-1, but he's regathered the best and scores the Lions' sixth goal.
Yeah, ever the opportunist there, Sid White. The Lions 5-2-32, the Goannas 2-1-13, 21 minutes gone now. So we wait for the ball to come back to the centre.
The boys on the scoreboard are working well. That was hardly through before they had the number up.
Yeah, they were confident, Andrew. They were more confident than me. They know their players.
Who needs electronic scoreboard? Ball tapped down by Lance, coming through is Ethan Schiller, back to Castles. His kick is smothered. Racing for this one is Brosmas Cree. He's had a good first quarter. Hand pass out to Seb Hamlin. Dodges around one. On to Sam Martin. He's got nowhere to go. Gets around Castles, can kick across goal and finds Josh Walsh. He can excavate out the other side. Kicks this one long and low, looking for Matt Hamlin. Uses his body well. Overruns it though. It's gathered by Schiller. Swings on his left, looking for Smith, front position. And he holds the mark in front of Josh Walsh.
Yeah, good mark there in front of Josh Walsh.
Too tall.
Yeah, held his ground.
Not confident kicking. Hand passes back to Schiller. Sends this one long. Sitting under is Tom Quinn. Almost marked there by Mangapla and Flynn. Gathered by Joe Foley, that is. He gets his hand pass out and the Lions force it through for a behind. Zach Burhop brings it in. Finds Josh Walsh. Can go wider. His kick doesn't hit a target though. Looking for Hattie. Lucas, but the ball's going to be balled up. Lions haven't got a ruckman at this contest, and gathered by Smith. Kicks one back inside and finds Crawford Foster.
Another chance for the goannas here.
He can swing wide, finds Wheeler. Kicks long and low. It's good spoil there by Joe Foley on Pulver. Shakes his head looking at his teammate.
Be a throw in out there in front of the centre care there. Those guys from Wagga Wagga, they're very good on that counselling business.
Lance in front. Castle's over the back. Tom Quinn, Joe Foley wrapped in a tackle, but the umpire calls for a ball up.
Mango appealing to the umpire there. Thought they were hard done by Andrew not to get a free.
Lance taps that down into the path of Pulver. Good smother by Jesse Lander. Gathered by Fitzsimmons. Grabs around one. Gets one back inside. Looking for Wheeler. His kick smothered. Gathered by Burhop. Clearing kick here. Looking for Dan Foley. Umpire calls play on. It's on the ground. Race for the ball here by Shannon Butterfield and Sam Martin. Gathered by Sam Martin. He keeps his feet. Hand passes back to Jess Lander. Ball hits the deck. Charging through is Foley. And he just dives lower, longer and harder. And it was awarded the free kick. Looks to come back inside, but his kick is cut off by Dan Foley. Turnover.
Well read by Dan Foley.
Goes wide to the centre, finds Matt Hamlin. Lions with a loose man in Josh or Walsh. He can chip over the top, looking for Jed Corbett. Finds him on the wing. Ball's held up there. He goes short. In front of the scoreboard, finds Tom Anderson. He plays on, looking for power. Foley under this one. It goes through his hands and it's out of bounds. Throw in there in the forward pocket.
The throw in out there will be affected in front of the Gammain Sports Club because the players and supporters will gather there tonight for the awards.
Dan Foley in the ruck. Ball's punched forward. It's out over the sideline.
And then a throw in now just in front of the Michael McCormack sign. Retained his seat in the Riverina yesterday, but he'll be alone in the Parliament from the Conservative side to fair bit, Andrew.
Yeah, down to the Matt Hamlin. He has a high kick at goal, but the umpire's found a free kick there. It'll go to Harry Collins. Maybe not Harry Collins. As the siren goes for quarter time.
So that's at the end of the quarter here at Gammain. 1 quarter complete. Players will come to the huddles, their respective huddles, and take on instructions from their respective coaches. Importantly, they'll take on plenty of water and take in some deep breaths. So pretty good quarter of football, Andrew.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining, Guy. Mango got a couple of later goals, and the Lions will be looking to push on in this second quarter, and Mango will be looking to just improve their skills a little bit.
Yeah, they'll want to keep the Lions in check. They won't want to let it run away. So commentators and camera operators will have a break and a drink and back with the second quarter shortly.
Amazing service and carefully sourced homewares and furniture. Fisher and Farmer.
Coolaman Butchery, a great place to meet up. Yummy, yum, yum.
Welcome back to the second quarter here at the Gammain Sports Ground. Coaches and officials clear the ground. Players take their positions. Pretty good opening here. Good, reasonable standard of football. Andrew, I thought.
Yes, it wasn't a bad first quarter, Guy. The Lions had that dominance early through Jack Powell up forward there with 4 quarter goals.
Just a little bit of breeze coming from the north, so that would favour the Waterview Street end of the ground, but really nothing to write home about.
Back to the centre of the ground, start of this second quarter, and the umpires called for a re-throw up. Up high is Lance for the Lions. He taps that one down. Contesting the ball is Matt Hamlin there, but it's gathered by Foley for Mangapla. They go forward. Under this is Tom Quinn. He gets a fist to it. The ball's on the ground there, gathered by Mangapla. He's wrapped up in a tackle, but the umpires found a free there against Boston McCree.
I think he waved over the shoulder, Andrew.
Yeah. One over the shoulder, and it looks like Harry Fitzsimmons to line up for the first goal for Mangapla in this second quarter.
So he'll take a shot at the northern end of the ground. He'll have to kick from about a bit over 30 metres, virtually dead in front. So distance will not be a problem. It's all up to the accuracy. Comes in, be a right foot, drop punt. Goal umpire watches it over his head, signals the goal.
First goal for the quarter to Mangapla.
Lions 5-2-32. The goannas 3-2-19 with a bit over 1 minute gone here. So that's just the start that the goannas would have wanted, Andrew. Certainly
would be, Guy. Just trying to find that goal kicker at Harrison Ledden. Lad that's come across from East Wagga Coringal gets that first goal of the second quarter. So back to the centre of the ground.
As always, Andrew's up with their history. It's terrific to have.
Lance taps that one down over the top of Smith. Into the pass of Anderson. He gathers, shrugs one tackle out the back to Matt Hamlin. And passes one over the top to Sam Martin, who's playing on the wing today. Kicks this one forward, looking for power. It's gone over his hands. It's rolling. It did a hand. It was touched.
Just touched by the look of it. Lions 5-3-33. Goannas 3-2-19.
As Collins, Harry brings this back in for Mangapla. Finds Bo Edmonds. Kick is smothered. Good pressure there by Jake Taylor. Regathered by Jake Taylor. He cops one high, and umpire Tough awards Jake Taylor a free kick, 40 metres out from goal on a 40-degree angle.
The Goanna player put himself under pressure there, Andrew. Took too long, and the umpire waved him on, and the Lions were up to the task. They played to the umpire and swooped on, affected the spoil.
Taylor sends this on play. It's going to fall short to the square, and Jed Corbett drops one he probably should have took. Chess markets gathered by Mangapla here. They attempt to clear the ball, gathered by Jed Corbett, breaks one tackle back to Lucas Hattie, and he steps around the corner, and it's a goal.
Well, I was about to say that Jed Corbett would cop it at breakfast in the morning for missing that mark, but he made up for it. He was able to win the ball back, get it off to Lucas Hattie, and Lucas Hattie was good enough to slot the goal. Well done to the Lions.
Yeah, you're probably right there, Guy. He's probably lucky he rectified that mistake. It's one thing about football. If you make one mistake, moments later you can
get a chance,
rectify.
Get the rebound. Don't dwell on it.
It's not like playing cricket. If you make a mistake, game over.
Yeah, you're back in the pavilion.
So back to the centre of the ground. Ashton Langs in the ruck with Smith. Smith taps that down, but there's no one at the back to take it. He kicks it off the ground. Boston McCree contests this one, punches it into the path of Seb Hamlin to Lucas Hattie. Gets a hand pass to Butterfield onto Hamlin's Matt. Seb Hamlin dodges around one onto his left, can come inside, finds Burhop. Lions pushing forward off half-back here through Burhop. He can go wide looking for Dan Foley. It's centimetre perfect pass, and Dan Foley's marked 30 metres out, 35 on a 45-degree angle. He was positioned at the back of his opponent, and Burhop just gave it enough air to clear the Mangapla opponent into the chest of Dan Foley.
Seb Hamlin not doing much wrong in that back line today, Andrew.
No, the Lions' defence are working well there. Joe Foley's only played about 5 first-grade games. Boston McCree's first one today as Dan Foley puts it through for the Lions. They get their second.
At the 5-minute mark of the second quarter, the Lions are now 7-3-45. The goannas 3-2-19. Just skipped a bit of a break on the goannas now. The goannas coach, players, supporters will be a little bit concerned about that break. They'd be wanting to keep the Lions in check.
Yeah, they're just having a bit of strife getting out of defence there. The Lions very good at
shutting them down today.
Shutting them down, yep.
Working well, the Lions' defence.
So Lance and Smith in the ruck. Smith taps that forward and coming through is Foley. Kicks this one forward. Coming out to meet it is Mangaplara, and the umpires deemed he was held. And it'll go to Pulver.
Not a lot in it, but I guess...
it's just good use of the body from my vision here, Guy.
Yeah. Be interesting to see on the replay, but the umpire's closer than us. But we like to see that body-on-body stuff let go a little bit. Never mind, the Mango will be having a shot from 30 metres directly in front of the northern goal. Comes in, right foot, drop, punt. Goal umpire runs away, favours the left-hand side. One behind.
Pulver misses to the right.
Lions 7-3-45. Goannas 3-3-20. Not a lot in that body contest. If you pay them umpires, you've got to pay them all day, so we'll take them.
Zach Burhop to bring it back in for the Lions. Looking to go to the scoreboard side. Kicks this one long and low. He's got Ashton Lance sitting under this and then finds him.
Made position well out there.
Chips one over the top. It's going to fall short. Puts pressure on Shannon Butterfield, but he recovers to Matt Hamlin. Can kick one over the top to Jake Taylor there. The Lions transitioning well here from defence. Goes inside looking for Sid White, but the kick's fallen short. Here he gathers. Ball spilled 3, gathered by Sam Martin. Mango looked to clear here. Cut off by Sid White. He gathers one on to Jesse Lander. Both sides fumbling bad here, and coming over the top there is Mangaplar. And the umpire will call for a ball up.
Yeah, eventually he had the ball up. The umpire let it go, hoping the ball was going to be cleared out.
Dan Foley front position, taps this down to Jake Taylor, goes through his legs. Mango looked to clear, cut off by Butterfield. Back to Sam Martin, swings on his left. He's got Jack Powell in the goal square. Ball's on the ground there, and clearance here by Walker, but the pressure here from the Lions, gathered by Butterfield. His hand pass is smothered as Sam Sheila clears for the goannas. Numbers here for the Lions. Ashton Lance gathers and looks to come back inside, but it's out over the sideline.
Throw in out there, the central eastern wing in front of the Cobber Apparel with his signs and clothing, etc.
Lance and Castle's in the ruck. Ball comes down to Crawford Foster. Mango get one forward, but it's played on quickly by Sam Martin. He comes inside to Matt Hamlin. Can chip over the top to Boston McCree. Doesn't look out of place, young Boston McCree in that defence. He kicks forward through Burhop. Ball's on the ground there, gathered by Shannon Butterfield. He has a running shot on goal, but it's out on the full.
It'll be a goannas kick right against the point post, southern end of the ground, in front of the Riverina Hotel. Best burgers in Wagga at the Riverina Hotel.
Harry Collins to bring this inside. Under this is Lance. Gets a finger to it. It's gone over the back there. Ball spills 3. Race for the ball here. Gathered by Sam Martin onto Matt Hamlin. Pirouettes and gives one back to Shannon Butterfield. Can go to the goal square. Sitting under this is Sid White. It's gone over the top, and Jack Powell tries to dodge around the goal post and keep the ball in play, but it's gone through from behind. Quick transition here by Mangaplar through Fitzsimmons wide, looking for young Henry Angel. He marks in front of the broadcasting box. He looks to move this on quickly. Goes long and low and finds Ledden. He's got Ethan Schiller, who's run from defence. Marks on half forward, kicks this long and low and Good play by Mangapla, and they find Flynn Collins at centre half forward. He'll have a shot on goal.
The Goannas' best passage of play for the quarter, Andrew. They moved it round this wing right here in front of us. And a nice lead up there. Good kick. Don't think the player had a lot of vision, but he could probably hear the voice of the lead. It's kicked from about 40. The goal umpire just casually strolls in and says it's a goal to the Goannas at the northern end of the ground.
Harrison Wheeler it was. Gets his first goal of the game.
Lions 7-4, 46. The Goannas 4-3, 26. 11 minutes gone now. The Goannas keep in touch. 20 points the difference. Perfect conditions. No, you're right. Young Boston McCree, Andrew, he looks to be in his right place out there.
So Ashton Lance and Smith in the ruck. Back to the centre of the ground. Throw up favours Smith, but coming through is Matt Hamlin. He toes one off the ground, gathered by Mangapla there, but it's cut off by Tom Anders. Sangs this low, looking for Dan Fowler. Pack forms there, it's over the back. Gathered by Powell, and he has a quick shot. He had a bit of time on his hands, but he rushed that one and he kicks it behind. Yeah, perhaps just a little bit more torque needed down there for the Lions in the forward line. He did have a bit of time. They had numbers.
Yeah, time and numbers. So a bit of a wasted one there for the Lions as we wait for the ball to come back to be kicked out from the southern end of the ground. We've got the Gammain Bowling Club down there. The boys went to Leeton yesterday, won the Saturday game, and they're playing in the final today at Leeton. So good luck to those guys.
As Mango bring it in and find Harry Collins. He kicks long to the clubhouse wing. Up high is Foley. Gone through his hands. Race for the ball here from Moller. He's wrapped up in a tackle by Jake Underwood. Coming through is Tom Quinn. Moller tries to burst his way through and the umpire calls for a ball up.
Got a bit of close-up play there, right under the commentary box.
Peck taps that down into the path of Mangapla. Back to Moller. Looks to come inside, but he's put it straight down the throat of Sam Martin. But it's a downfield kick to Harrison Wheeler. He plays on quickly, looking for Pulver. He's spoiled over the shoulder, and umpire has awarded a free kick to Lewis Pulver. He's going to have to kick this from 55.
Yeah, it was a late tackle here, or late push, Andrew, that resulted in that free to the Goannas. So he'll be kicking outside the 50. The Lions player standing on the arc of the 50 with hands stretched skywards. Well, he was. Now he's got hands on his knees. He sucks some breath in. This will be a great kick if he can slot it through from there. Gives it everything. Right foot, low trajectory, drop punt. Does pretty well, but a Goanna mark. No, touched over the line.
Touched over the line. Was a good attempt. The Lions bring it in quickly up to the centre of the ground to Tom Quinn. Charging through is Seb Hamlin. Gets one over the top to Tom Anderson. Put him under pressure and the ball's on the ground. He wraps up his opponent in a good tackle. And the umpire called for a ball up.
The Goanna player just needed that Terry Lennon one grab situation, Andrew. It spilled and spilled over the goal line.
Yeah, young Edmonds.
He'll get another go.
Smith down into Edmonds' hands onto Angel there. He's kicked forward, but coming out is Boss McCree. Shugs the tackle off, sends this one long. Looking for Sid White under this one. Gathered by Powell back to Lucas Hattie. He has a check side kick for goal and he's kicked it. He can swing them both ways.
That goal from Lucas Hattie takes the Lions 8-5-53 and the Goannas 4-4-27. He might let his brothers know about that at the breakfast table in the morning, Andrew.
My word, Guy.
Take every opportunity. Don't blame you. They're hard to come by. No, he knew what he was doing. He deliberately put it on the outside of his right foot, bent it back beautifully.
There's Peck in the ruck against Smith. Smith wins a tap down to the path of Foley, but it's grabbed by Matt Hamlin. Kicks this high, and it's a downfield for some indiscretion there.
Yeah, late attention, I think, on Matt Hattie, I think, there.
Yeah, right.
After he got rid of the ball.
So the kick will go to Lucas Hattie. Got Dan Foley on the league. He'll look to put this to the top of the square. Good kick to advantage, and Dan Foley too strong.
Another good kick from Lucas Hattie and good positioning from Dan Foley, but Lucas Hattie put it out in front of him. Dan Foley...
he's deemed to juggle it over the sideline.
Gone over the... Okay, fair enough. Boundary umpire's on the spot. But a really good kick there from... he's deeming it out on the full now.
Yep.
No. We're still not sure.
As Dan Foley's been shown the yellow card, and he's coming from the ground.
Descent, is that?
I'd say so, Guy.
Yep.
I couldn't.
Yeah, that's all it can be, I guess. Dan Foley not happy with the decision. He thought he marked it fair and square before the line.
The ball's kicked by Foley across goal, back to Foley. They look to clear here, out wide to Moller. He marks on that far half-back flank. He plays on quickly, but he's going down to Joe Foley, who marks in front of the scoreboard. Sends this long and low over the back, gathered by Sid White. He's pressured there. The ball's come free. And deemed to be diving on the man on the ground there, so free kick to Mangapla.
Mango at the moment getting the run of the umpiring.
So he comes inside and finds Harry Collins.
They need to make the most of it. Convert.
The Lions spoke about not getting involved with the umpires through the week, so they've got to learn from that. A good tackle by Sid White. He's rewarded this time. He takes the kick there across half forward. Chips short, looking for Jack Powell. His arms have been chopped and he'll take the free kick. He's calling for 50, but he's going to have a shot from 50 out.
Looking to give it off, but kicks long.
And it's going over the back, through for behind.
Carried the pack, but offline, one behind.
That's 4 goals, 3 for Jack Powell so far in this game.
Lions 8-6-54, goannas 4-4-27, 18 minutes gone. Second
As the
turn.
goannas bring it back in. Collins has dropped the ball. Pressure here by the Lions. Gathered by Jake Taylor. Snap around the corner, and the umpire likes it.
They were never going to let the goannas get away with that fumble, Andrew.
Yeah, it was a huge fumble there by... It was a missed kick, and then the handball back didn't hit a target. It put them under all sorts of pressure, and the Lions were able to pounce, and Jake Taylor scores the goal.
Lions 9-6-60, goannas 4-4-27, 18 and a half gone now. Bit more than a 5-goal lead to the Lions as we head towards half-time, the main break here at the Gammain Sports Ground. Bit of a gap in the scores now. The goannas will need one desperately before half-time. And Sam Martin will talk to his guys, Andrew, at half-time about, the descent situation. Just keep your mind on the play.
Ball thrown up. Smith taps that down into the path of Matt Hamlin, but it's gathered by Ethan Schiller. He can go wide to a hand pass back to Smith. He'll look to hand pass back. It's Keepins off here from the goannas. Pulver back to Collins. Runs around Jed Corbett. Kicks it long and finds Wheeler. Can swing around on his right. He's got Castles low, and it's a good pass out on his chest. He'll have a shot. 40 out.
Good lead, good kick. Yeah, it'll be every bit of 40 he has to kick from. Umpire's lined him up. He takes in a deep breath. Just an occasional breeze, nothing to worry about. He'll be able to master that to the northern end. Comes in, right foot, drop punt. Spears to the left.
The big hook.
One behind. Lions 9-6, goannas 4-5. 20 minutes gone. Second term. We wait for the ball to come back at the northern end of the ground.
So Zach Burhop to bring it back in for the Lions. He's got numbers out here in front of the sheds. He's going to go long, looking for Josh Walsh. Goes high, gets his hands on it, through his hands. Gathered by Shannon Butterfield. He's wrapped up in a tackle there. Something there that Josh Walsh didn't like. He's letting Riley Cole know that's not on, and the ball's thrown up. Castles uses his body well, kicks this high, sitting under his Burhop, goes through his hands, gathered by Tom Quinn, and it's another ball up.
So just a stalemate at the northern end of the ground.
Castles uses his body, taps that down into the path of Fitzsimmons, I think it is.
Another ball up.
Lance gets over the top this time, taps it forward. Schiller gathers it. Back to Foley, back to Collins. He have a long running shot at goal, and it's hooked to the left.
Yeah, he's overcorrected.
Another behind for the goannas.
Goannas just a little bit inaccurate, but I guess that comes with pressure, Andrew.
Yes, a lot of shots on the run as Zach Burke brings this in. Sam Martin brings it in, finds Zach Burhop. He can play on here, can go wide, looking for Seb Hamlin. He's got Josh Walsh there. He regathers, one over the top to Joe Foley. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Ball spills free. Play on, says the umpire. Mishand pass from Burhop. Regathers, goes wide, looking for Jake Taylor. Cuts that one off in front of his Mangaplar opponent. Dodges round one. Can come inside. The ball's smothered. Ball on the ground there. Tapped forward by Jed Corbett. Gathered by Gammain there. I can't see who it is, and it's held up. It'll be a ball up. It was Lucas Hattie on the bottom of that pack.
The
It's
goal
on the
snapper.
far wing. Smith taps that down into the path of the goannas. Ball's trapped there. Seb Hamlin tries to tow it forward over the top to Boston McCree. Kicks this one forward looking for Jeffro Peck. Matt Hamlin comes through. Gets around Schiller. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Hand pass on to Peck. He's on his left side. He kicks this one forward. Gathered there by the goannas with numbers through Edmonds. Looks to clear this one. Almost cut off there by Ganmain in Taylor, I think it was. And he's held that one up in front of Smith. And it'll be a ball up.
So a ball up on the far half-forward flank for the Lions.
Ball thrown up. Smith taps it over the top with that customary left hand. Gathered by the goannas out the back. They kick this one forward through Pulver. Goes high, but it's marked by Josh Walsh. He can come inside to Sam Martin, all on his own in the centre of the ground. He can take one bounce. Can send this long, looking for Sid White on a big lead. Jumps high. He's forced under that one. It's over the back and marked by Mangaplar to Foley. They look to clear this one here. Tom Quinn has got front position, spoiled by Angel, gathered by Boston McCree. Gets a hand pass to Quinn. Long hand pass to Tom Anderson. He can go long, looking for Matt Hamlin there. He's got the best position. He can take the mark and play on and kicks a running goal.
Good passage of play there from the Lions right in front of us here on the broadcast side of the ground. Tom Anderson wouldn't be particularly happy with that ball off the foot, Andrew, but it floated. It actually favoured the Lions in the finish, I reckon.
Yeah, it was kicked to Matt Hamlin's advantage, and that's all you got to do.
The Lions 10-6, 66. The goannas 4-6, 29. There's almost 25 minutes gone now, second term. Josh Walsh again, strong in defence.
Lanch can Smith in the ruck. Smith taps that down, but Lanch comes through. He's grabbed in a tackle. He hasn't got it. Very good at making those second efforts, Ashton, for a boy that's played a lot of basketball. Kicks this one forwards. The ball's on the ground. Grabbed by Peck. Tries to get a hand pass away. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Picked up by Tom Anderson. Kicks it forward. Front position is Sid White. The ball's on the ground there. Numbers for Mango. They look to clear this through Ethan Sheila. Goes wide. Lucas Hattie under this one, but it's a good mark by Pulver over the back. He can play on. Looks to come into the centre of the ground. Good pressure there by Joe Foley. Affects the spoil. Jesse Lander dives in on this one, and the umpire's going to call for a ball up late in this second term. Lions will be looking to keep the goannas out. They don't want a late goal here. Lance in front position, taps this forward, but into the path of Harry Collins. He gathers, can go back to Pulver, who's come up to that wing. Can come back inside, looking for Edmonds. He takes a mark in the centre of the ground. They look to switch. Nothing on offer. Pulver's running through the centre of the ground. He can kick this long, looking for Wheeler. But it's a good mark to Castles.
I think
free kick's going to go to Wheeler.
Yeah, I think held without it, Andrew. The umpire spotted up. I think it was fair enough from what I saw. He'll have to kick from 40. No breeze to worry about. Comes in. It'll be a right foot drop punt.
Kick looks good.
Goal. Goal it is. Goal of the goannas late in the second term.
Second for the quarter. Exactly what the Lions didn't want.
Lions 10-6, 66. The goannas 5-6, 35. 27 minutes gone on our clock. Something about the height, those basketballers, Andrew. There was a Northern Queensland yesterday. As an ex-basketballer won a seat for the Labor Party. He's reported to be 7 foot tall.
Oh, geez.
I'm not sure what that is in metric, but it's a lot.
My word. Ashton Lance in the ruck against Smith. Smith has the second tap into the path of Fitzsimmons, but he's wrapped up in a tackle there by Power. The ball comes free to Foley. He breaks one tackle, spins around, sends this forward to Castle. Spoiled by Josh Walsh, gathered by Sam Martin. He breaks one tackle, gets his hand pass away to Lander. Can chip this one over the top into the path of Butterfield. Hand pass comes into the path of Jed Corbett. He's tackled without it. Play on, says the umpire. Jesse Lander gets the kick forward to Jake Taylor. Can send this long and low. It's a kick to Sid White as the siren goes, and end of the quarter.
Jed Corbett there just right in front of us here, almost just a little bit unlucky. He was sort of grabbed without it and a little bit of a sling. The goannas player thought about it. I think he pulled up before he slung him properly, Andrew, but anyway, That's the way the umpire read it. So yes. At half-time here now at the Gammain Sports Ground, the Lions 10-6, 66, the goannas 5-6, 35. Pretty good standard of football, Andrew.
Yes, it's not too bad, guys, moving from one end to the other. Some good skills there shown by both sides. That's Boston McCree's having a fine debut there across halfback for the Lions.
Yeah, he doesn't look out of place. Of course, aided and abetted by the veteran Lions defenders there, and Josh Walsh, and as you said, Tom Quinn's having a pretty good season. They're working well together there. It's been one of the mainstays of the Lions side across the last few years, Andrew, the back line, really.
Yes, it's a bit of experience there, and they've been together for a while.
So the players, umpires come to the sheds for the main break here at the Gammain Sports Ground. Commentators, camera people, technicians will take a break, take on some water. Look forward to bringing you the second half.
For all your AG, vet chemicals, fertilizer and bulk fuel, go to Logan and Hitchens.
Ganmain and District Sports Club, a place to celebrate and much, much more.
Ganmain Bakery and the famous Ganmain pies. If you can bake it, we make it.
Great pub accommodation and icy cold beers. Ganmain Hotel for good quality pub grub.
So we're back here at the Gammain Sports Ground for the start of the third quarter. This clash here today between the Gammain Grong Grong Madong Lions and the goannas from Manga Player Land. Lions debuting some more cubs here today, and they've had a pretty good start. Boston McCree, as Andrew's reporting, is looking right in his place there in that half-back line. Umpires making sure all the runners are behind the lines to start this game here.
So the Lions have a 30-point lead at the start of this third quarter. Ashton Lance and Smith in the ruck. Once again, Smith taps that down. Coming through is Tom Anderson. Scoops one up, looking for Matt Hamlin. He gathers and wrapped up in a tackle, and the umpire will call for a ball up. Anderson and Hamlin both had good days. Smith taps that one down. Gathered by Anderson. Kicks this one around the corner. Coming out to meet is Jed Corbett, but bounces over his head. Gathered by Collins there. He goes wide. Burhop has front position. Gathers. Hand passes over the top looking for Sam Martin. It's gathered by Pulver there. Dodges around one. Comes back inside. And they find Fitzsimmons. Could have almost been a 50 then, but the umpires elected him to go back and have his kick. He kicks forward and finds Collins, sends this in long, looking for Wheeler with front position, punched by Hamlin, hand pass by McCree, but it's on the ground there, gathered by Wheeler, can hand pass over the top, and a free kick downfield. Dumped after he gave the hand pass, and it'll go to Moller.
Late push there from the Lions. Umpires pretty hot on that late stuff.
Certainly have been today.
So he'll have to kick from a bit over 40. We've got a good shot here. As Baz is right behind him, comes in, right foot, drop punt, sprays
Kicks.
it to the right. Umpire taps his shoulder.
Behind.
Lions 10-6, 66. Goannas 5-7, 36. 2 minutes gone, third term. Premiership quarter they call it, Andrew, but the Lions faced their nemesis last week at the Crossroads Oval at Collingully. The Demons, once again, too good for the Lions.
Burhop to bring this back in to the broadcasting side. Under this is Josh Walsh. Moller with front position. Taylor gathers. He's wrapped up in a tackle there, and the umpires called him caught with the ball.
Yeah, umpire said he didn't make enough intent to get rid of it. 50, a little bit unusual.
Going to give 50 away here.
Josh Walsh might have been sucked in a little bit there. Didn't get the ball back quick enough, interfering with the Goannas player. So takes the free kick for the Goannas right down to within 15 metres of the southern goal. Will be right over his right shoulder.
Ethan Schiller comes in, kicks on its way, and he puts it through.
Makes no mistake. So a bit of an easy one there for the Goannas. Lions 10-6, 66. Goannas 6-7, 42. 3 minutes gone. Josh Walsh be disappointed with himself for giving that one away, Andrew.
Yep.
He's a very disciplined player, but he'll make up for it.
Yeah, something the Lions spoke about before the game. It hasn't played out for him. Dan Foley looking to come back onto the ground after his 15 minutes of punishment. Ball thrown up once again. Ashton Lance. Smith wins the ruck down into the path of Sam Schiller. Kicks this one forward looking for Castles on a good lead, and he marks in front of Walsh. On the 50. Goes to play on quickly. Ball goes long through the behinds.
Dan Foley comes back on now. He's had an extended half-time interval.
Ball kicked in by Burhop to Matt Hamlin to Butterfield. He can go over the top to Sam Martin. Ball hits the deck, goes through his feet, but he regathers. Hand passes long to Tom Quinn. He's under pressure. Gets a hand pass away. Gathered by Tom Anderson. He's under pressure. Swings around on his left, but it's cut off by Foley across half forward. The Mango look to play on quickly here. Numbers here as Fitzsimmons bruised it through the centre of the ground. Good use of the body there by Angel, but recovered by Joe Foley. He can hand pass back to Matt Hamlin. Back to Joe Foley. Gets long and Lord through the hands of Lucas Hattie there. Mistake by the Lions. It's on to Ledden. He can go short to Castles. He can chip one over the top and finds Henry Angel. He'll have a shot on goal. 30 out on a 45-degree angle.
It keeps coming back to me, Andrew, that Terry Lennon, he said, one grab, son, one grab and hold your feet. Easy from up here, of course.
It's just been those turnovers again, like hand passes hitting the deck, not hitting the target. Just puts your teammate under pressure. Kicks on its way and he's kicked truly. No, it's tapped on the line by Joe Foley.
Using his height there, Joe Foley. Lucky he kept his eyes on it.
Burhop brings it in quickly and finds Sam Martin. He can go wide and finds Matt Hamlin, who gathers it on that far wing and take one bounce. Can kick this long, looking for Sid White on a long lead, and he's marked in front of the scoreboard. He can go back. Looking long for Dan Foley, sitting under this one. It's going to go over his head. Gathered by Mangapla. Coming through is Jack Powell. Forced forward there by Mangapla. Fitzsimmons wrapped in a tackle by Butterfield. And the umpire is going to call for a ball up. Ball's thrown high. Punched down by Foley into the path of Schiller. He can come across and find Pulver in front of Lucas Hattie. He can chip one over the top looking for Reynoldson. He's made it difficult for him. Numbers here for Gully. Gathered by Angel. Gets one back to Reynoldson. Can chip over the top here. Schiller's running hard and tries to keep this one in, but the boundary line beats him. It'll be a throw in.
Mango have come out full of running, Andrew, this quarter, making the play more.
Yes, they've regrouped. Castle's in the ruck, punched down by Lance onto Tom Anderson. He's wrapped in a tackle, gets his hand pass away. Matt Hamlin's wrapped up in another tackle, and the umpire call for a ball up. Castles wins the tap, down to Foley. He breaks the tackle, and the umpire's called for a ball up.
So we've only gone about 5 metres on this occasion.
Castle regathers it out of the ruck, kicks forward, but sitting under this is Josh Walsh. It eludes him, tries to gather it, dives in on it, and the umpire says, give it to me. Copped one high there, I think. He went diving on that ball. Seems to be okay. Balled up, Castle taps that down. Miss kick there by Beherp. Gets one out wide to Matt Hamlin. Spread here from the Lions. Can chip one over the top to Sam Martin. Goes inside looking for Ashton Lance. He marks it's an half forward there. Looks to give a hand pass. Gives it to Tom Anderson. Can come wide to Josh Walsh. Got a lead from Sid White. Gnaws that over the top to Tom Quinn. The Lions pushing up from defence. He sends this long on his left foot. Sitting under this is Powell. Numbers back there for Mangapla. Sid White's been caught with Sid Lenton's been caught with the ball, and the umpire free kick to Fitzsimmons, is it? Or Fitzsimmons by the look of it. He looks to play and come wide. Going wide under this is Josh Walsh. Up high, takes a good mark over Pulver.
Having a strong game.
Sends this long back into the forward line. Numbers here by Mango. Down to Fitzsimmons. Out to Smith. Boston McCree comes through and sharks that one. And Sid Lenton's wrapped up in a tackle by Smith. Another ball up.
Ball up on the arc of the 50. Lions attacking end of the ground.
Dan Foley tries to grab this one out of the ruck, but it comes back to Smith. Gets a hand pass away. Quick hands by Mangapla. Clearing from the wing, a chip over the top to Pulver in front of the Mango box. Kicks this high. Sitting under this is Seb Hamlin. Castle almost takes the mark. Ball on the ground there. Gathered by Angel. Seb Hamlin breaks off one tackle, gets a hair pass out to Tom Anderson. He comes back inside looking for Matt Hamlin, puts in front of him. He's under pressure here, regathers, gets his hair pass away to Jesse Lander. On to Tom Anderson, sends this long, looking for power. One-on-one here. Brute strength. He's held when he hasn't got the ball.
Should have been
Play on,
paid.
says the umpire, and Mango clear.
Dragged him to the ground, Andrew.
Yep. Certainly was. And it goes wide to Moller. Into the hands of Collins.
Lion supporters on the bank not happy with that decision.
He looks to come inside. Kicks long. He got Castles under this. Joe Foley tries to spoil, but he takes a good strong mark. Too tall. Plays on quickly. Kicks it off the side of his boot. It's not a good one, and Matt Hamlin's taking the mark at centre-half back. Plays on quickly, looking for Tom Quinn. The kick just hits the ground. Ethan Schiller comes through, regathers, turns one way, back the other, on to Smith. He misses the hand pass, gets one wide to Collins, back inside to Schiller. Looks to set up here, and he finds Angel at centre forward. He can come wide, looking for Reynoldsson, all on his own, unmanned at the half forward. He can play on, have a shot at goal, but he's kicked it to the right.
Bit of a let off there for the Lions. They were a little bit stirred up by that non-decision down in their forward line. Never mind, they'll have to forget that. We wait for the ball to be brought back in from the southern end of the ground.
Zach Burhop to bring it back in for the Lions. Mango got the zone. He looks to go wide to the scoreboard side. High, looking for Peck under this one. Coming through is Sam Martin. The ball's on the ground there. Dives over the top. Peck dives on this one. Grabbed by Tom Quinn. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Ball spills free. Coming through is Sid Lenton. Head down, and the umpire's called for a ball up. Up it goes. Peck in front position. Down into the path of Sid Lenton. Gets a little... No, he's deemed to threw that one into the path of Tom Quinn, and it's a free kick to Mangapla. To Woodhouse it was. He goes wide. I think he's found Foley on that far side. Chips one over the top looking for Castles. The ball's on the ground. He gathers, gets a hand pass away. Gathered by Butterfield. A little hand pass out to Sam Martin. Gets one forward. Looking for Dan Foley. He's had one over the shoulder. Can chip one over the top to Jed Corbett. He can run this one down. Looking for power. Comes inside and finds him 30 metres out from goal. Straight in front.
Yeah, good talking there. Jed Corbett had enough time. He could have just streamed in, but his Lions opponent made terrific space. Just chipped it across for him. Hence, he'll have a kick dead in front at the northern end of the ground and have to kick from about 35 metres, all of which is achievable. Goal umpire watches it go over his head. Goal to the Lions.
That's Powell's fifth of the game. His first goal since that fantastic first quarter he had where he kicked 4. And that was a much needed goal from the Lions. Because Mango were coming. They've had the better of this first 15 minutes.
Yeah, they've had their best passage for the game, Andrew, that 15 minutes of this quarter. The Lions 11-6, 72. The goannas 6-10. Well, 6-10 should be 46, but I'll have to adjust that at the break.
Peck and Castles in the ruck. Castles taps that back, but it's into the path of Peck, who gathers to Matt Hamlin. Little hand pass out. Ball's on the ground there. Gathered by Schiller. On to Fitzsimmons. He juggles this one. Kicks one forward. It's in dispute here. Gathered by Jake Underwood. Comes back inside and finds Seb Hamlin. Well done, Jake. Good kick. Lions look to play on here. Seb dodges one way, then the other. Sends this one forward on his trusty left foot. Looking for Lucas Hattie, but the ball bounces on the ground. Good tackle by Jake Underwood there. On to Lucas Hattie, to Matt Hamlin, to Joe Foley. Can send this one in long. Looking for Dan Foley. It's gone through the hands of Sid White. Ball's on the ground there. Moller dives on it. He steps up with it. Get tackled by Dan Foley. Comes out the back to Fitzsimmons. Mangapla clear here. It's a kick off the side of the boot, and it's straight into the arms of Matt Hamlin. He looks to come inside. He's got Seb Hamlin, who's pushed to centre half forward. He takes a mark. He can play long. He goes low. It doesn't hit his target in Dan Foley. Here he gathers. On his left, on his right. He's tackled. Gets his hand pass away. Numbers here for Gammain. Picked up by Jed Corbett. Gets his hand pass back, but it's cut off there by Mango Pla. They kick forward. Numbers here for the Lions. Tap forward by Josh Walsh into Boston McCree's hands. He breaks the tackle, gets it back to Joe Foley. He can come wide looking for Matt Hamlin, but it's cut off by Sam Sheila. Back to Henry Angel. Gets one forward there to Sam Sheila. Numbers here over the top looking for Pulver, who's run down to the ring. It's gone through his hands. Jake Underwood makes a tackle. He breaks that one. He plays on, looks to come inside. Numbers there, and a spoil by Sam Martin on his Mangapla opponent. Numbers for the Lions. Back to Josh Walsh from Boston McCree to Sam Martin. Clearance here by the Lions through Tom Quinn. He fumbles. Gives it on to Boston McCree. Out wide to Sam Martin now. They clear once again the Lions. Comes inside and finds Tom Anderson at half-back flank.
Good desperation there from the back line in the back pocket there for the Lions, Andrew.
Run from Tom Quinn from defence. Can kick this long. Looking for Lucas Hattie. Almost takes the mark. Regathered by Mangapla. They go back. In front position here is Luke Powell. Swings around on his left. The ball's going to roll towards goals, and it's through from behind.
One behind.
Mangapla looking to bring this back in quickly. Looking for Collins and finds him. It's an half back there for the goannas. They look to play on. Edmonds fumbles a hand pass he should have took. It's on the ground there. He regathers. Big Shepherd by Castles. Ball's going wide to Moller. He can go long to Wheeler on the wing. Run from Crawford Foster. He can send this into the forward line to Harry Wheeler. Tries to take a one-handed mark, and he's taken it over the sidelines in that far forward pocket.
Boundary line beat him on that occasion, Andrew. Good sponsors out there. Mark Bradley Plumbing from Coolerman. Got any plumbing problems, give him a call.
Lance can Smith in the ruck. Smith taps that down into the path of Joe Foley to Burhop onto Matt Hamlin. He kicks this one wide, looking for Jesse Lander. He takes a good contested mark in front of Greenway, the boy from Griffith. Kicks it low, but it hasn't come off the boot too well. Gathered by Pulver inside to Angel. Tackled by Lander. Back to Greenway. Goes inside to Castles. He can have a running shot on goal. It's a big kick. It's going to go all the way. It's home.
Great drop punt from the big man there. He's outside the 50, and the ball carried the goal line, so that's got to have travelled 55 metres, Andrew.
Yes, it was a big kick, Guy.
Yeah, he had a bit of a run up on it, so...
He's a big lad, and he's got a big boot on him.
Yep. Just took 2 or 3 strides and gave it a good thump.
Been an even quarter.
Mango's
probably in front.
Yeah, Mango's best quarter for the game. The Lions 11-7, 73. The Goannas 7-10, 52.
Ball thrown up. Lance Castles in the ruck. Tom Anderson grabs it out of the ruck, gets his hand pass away. Gathered by Castles to Fitzsimmons. He sends this one forward again. Under this is Smith. Punched clear by Josh Walsh. Good tackle by Burhop. Goal-saving tackle once again. He did that last week, and he's done it again this week.
Saved the day in that situation.
Comes inside to Tom Anderson, to Tom Quinn. He's got to get rid of it quickly. Kicks it long, looking for Dan Foley at centre forward. It's gone over his back, and it's a mark there to Brown. He goes wide and finds Pulver on the wing. He comes inside. He's found Foley there on the wing. He's held up. Looks to get on that right foot. Sends it long. Dan Foley and Angel under this one. Dan Foley tries to mark it. Goes through his hands and it forced over the sideline. Will be a throw in there on the 50. Half forward flank of Mangapla.
Throw in front of the landmark Narandra business.
Lance and Castle in the ruck. Lance with front position down to that path for Fitzsimmons. He tries to break one tackle. Umpire says play on. Another tackle there by Lance. Coming out the back to Ganmain there. Picked up by Greenway. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Tom Quinn's forced over the sideline. Umpire's called for a ball up.
Letting it go a bit all of a sudden, Andrew.
Yeah, well, one bloke's tried to break through 2 tackles and still play on. The ball goes up. Castle wins that ruck. And Dan Foley's wrapped up in a tackle. Castle taps that down into the path of Foley. He's wrapped up in a tackle. And the umpire called for a ball up. Good tackle from Tom Quinn.
Lions desperate to clear it out of the inside 50 area for the goannas.
About 21-minute mark of this third quarter. Castle taps that down. Fitzsimmons tries to break one tackle again. He's wrapped up. And Foley tries to get a hair pass away. It's kicked forward there by Woodhouse, and it's punched through for a behind by Burhop.
He saved the day on a number of occasions, has Zach Burhop, Andrew.
He's been very good back there today as he looks to bring this in, and he's going to go to the far side. Going along looking for Dan Foley. Taking the mark.
Too tall.
Can play on quickly. Looking for Tom Anderson on that. In front of the scoreboard. He takes the mark and plays on. He gets 10 metres on his opponent. Can send this one in long. Sitting under it is Ashton Lance, but he can't take the mark, and it's pressure there from Mangapla. He had good purchase, but couldn't quite hold on to it. The umpire's going to ball it up. 30 metres out from the Lions' goal. Peck taps this down, gathered by Butterfield, but he's wrapped up in a tackle. Another ball up.
Best chance the Lions have had for a while.
Peck in the ruck, taps it to Foley, goes through his hands, and another ball up.
Another ball up within 40 metres of the Lions' attacking goal, northern end of the ground.
Peck and Castles, he punches it clear. Gathered by St. Lenton, gets a hand pass out to Matt Hamlin. He dodges round one. Little chip around the corner, finds Dan Foley, takes a good mark. Sends this quickly, but it's down the throat of Mangapla. They didn't think that too good, the Lions. It comes wide to Polver in front of Sam Martin on the half-back flank.
Just need to lift the eyes a bit on that occasion, Andrew.
Yeah, it was just a rush kick. It wasn't on. So Polver kicks this down the line. Good spoil by Tom Quinn on Ethan Schiller, and he forces it over the line. There'll be a throw-in in front of the kiosk. 23 minutes gone in this third term.
Goanna's best quarter of football.
They lead the Lions 2-1 in this third quarter as Smith pushes his opponent out of the way. Coming through is Sam Schiller. He can't gather, but gathered by Fitzsimmons. He gets around 1 or 2 tackles onto Moller. Mango looked to go forward. Jumping at the ball is Burhop. He can't take the ball, but it's kicked off the ground there by Wheeler into the path of Angel. He kicks it high. Sitting under this is Wheeler, and it's through for a behind. It was good play there from Wheeler. He had Angel all on his own. And it just didn't quite get there as Josh Walsh brings it in quickly to Lucas Hattie. He can go long out to the far side to Matt Hamlin. He can play on here. Runs away from Nelson Foley onto Sam Martin. He can come back inside. Looking for Shannon Butterfield. Marks it at centre forward. He's going to have to go back and have his kick as the siren goes, and he's have to kick it from 50, but I think it's going to be beyond him.
Yeah, falls well short, Andrew.
Falls 15 metres short.
So three-quarter time here at the Ganmain Sports Ground. The Lions 11-7, 73. Goannas 7-12, 54. Best quarter of the day for the, as Andrews called it, for the Goannas. They've outscored the Lions, and it's, you know, with that much difference, the game's not over, Andrew. This game's well within the reach of the Goannas.
Yes, well, it's the same. It's a 20-point lead, yes, to the Lions. They were 30 points in front at half time. They're only 20 points now, so it's game on.
So we're set up for a good last quarter of football here at the Ganmain Sports Ground. Still magnificent conditions. No breeze, whatever. We'll have a drink, regroup as the players regroup. Manga players will come into their three-quarter time huddle. They'll be very happy with that quarter of football. Why wouldn't they be? So then we'll be back and we'll bring you the last quarter.
Ganmain News Agency, open 7 days. Lotto newspapers, the list keeps going. Need some residential or commercial renovations and roofing? Call Matt at RJS Construction.
So the players break from their huddles here just for the start of the fourth quarter here at the Ganmain Sports Ground. And Mango guys, Andrew, they broke from their huddle very positive. They were cheering. They know they had a good quarter. They'll be hoping to bring home a good quarter.
Yes, they're after their first win of the season.
Perfect afternoon. No excuses.
Hardly any breeze, not favouring, well, the flags are dead still.
No breeze and no rain in sight on the 10-day forecast.
So umpire to throw this one up. Ashton Lance and Smith from Mangapla in the ruck. Smith taps that down. It's gathered by Schiller. He'll send this forward for Mangapla. It's gone off the side of his boot out to that half-back flank for the Lions and gathered by Wheeler there. He's spoiled by Tom Quinn. He's over the top of this one. And the umpire will call for a ball up. Lance and Smith in the ruck. Smith taps it down. Here Castles, is he? He gathers that one out of the ruck. It's gone through Tom Quinn's feet. Coming out to meet his Wheeler. He goes one way, then the other. Has a snap on goal, and Mangapla get the first goal of the last quarter.
It's a goal. It's game on here at the Ganmain Sports Ground.
He's been very dangerous up there today, Wheeler. That's his third goal of the game.
Yeah, he's pretty sneaky. He's opportunist. The Lions 11-7, 73. Goannas 8-12, 60 with 1 minute gone in the last term. Great opening. They've started where they finished off the third quarter, the Goannas. It's given them a lift, to say the least. Lions will have to be on their game to counter it. Ball's back in the centre.
Back to Ashton Lance and Smith. Smith taps it down into the path of Foley. Another clearance here for the Goannas. Going forward there, race for the ball from Angel, but gathered by Sam Martin. Over the top, looking for McCree. Back to Sam Martin. He just fumbled one there and wrapped it in a tackle, and the umpire will call for a ball up.
So ball up inside the 50, the defensive inside 50, northern end of the ground for the Lions.
Lance with front position, taps that down to Matt Hamlin. Tries to clear the pack, he's tackled and caught with the ball by Schiller.
They've really tightened up on Matt Hamlin since the first quarter, Andrew, and why wouldn't they?
He kicks one low and Law looking for Wheeler on a long lead, and he's taken the mark. He's going to have another shot on goal. He's 30 metres out.
He's quick off the boot, quick off the sprinter to that lead, Andrew. Pretty quick over the ground.
Yes. Yeah, no, he was on a strong lead there. It was a pinpoint pass.
He'll kick from about 40. Right foot, drop punt.
Kick
Once
looks
again,
good.
Goal umpire doesn't move. Trouble for the Lions.
That's 2 and 3 minutes.
Plenty of time. Lions 11-7, 73. The Goannas 9-12, 66.
Lions have got to get this one out of the centre as Dan Foley comes in to take the ruck.
7 points the difference here at the Den. Set up for a great finish.
Foley and Smith. Smith taps it down. He gathers out of the ruck. Kicks this one forward for the goannas. Sitting under this Boss McCree. He double fists it clear. Out of the path of Henry Angel. He gathers. Tries to break one tackle. And he's caught the ball. And good tackle there by Joe Foley. He can come inside to his brother Dan. It's got to be a good kick though, and it's not. Straight down the throat of Ledden. And he'll have a shot 35 metres out, straight in front.
Always a little bit risky in that situation, Andrew. It's got to be spot on. In hindsight, you probably should have defended to the boundary. So he'll kick from about 40, dead in front. No breeze, whatever. Goannas on a roll. Right foot, drop punt.
Looks good.
Clears the pack for a goal. Another goal at the northern end.
Goal umpire likes it. The goannas are on a roll.
They've been coming since half-time. The Lions 11-7, 73. The Goannas 10-12, 72. Great fight back here at the Den from the Goannas.
As Jack Powell comes into the centre bounce. Lions desperate to win the clearance.
Yeah, they've got to stop the Goannas taking out of the centre, Andrew. That's obvious.
Foley in the ruck, taps that one down into the path of Powell, but he's wrapped up in a tackle. And the umpire will call for a ball up. Both ruckmen grapple with each other. It's tapped down in the path of Matt Hamlin. Gets a hair pass back to Tom Anderson. Back to Seb Hamlin. He dodges round one. He can send this long forward. Looking for Ashton Lance. Goes through his hands. Gathered by Jake Taylor. He can run into goal here and he kicks a reply.
Much needed goal at the southern end of the ground for the Lions. Much needed being the understatement of the day. Good shot on goal, running goal there from Jake Taylor.
Good desperation when that ball hit the deck.
Yeah, he swooped on it. He only had one thing in mind, Andrew. Lions 12-7, 79. Goannas 10-12, 72. Just a bit over 6 minutes gone here in the last term. Anybody's game. Lions desperate to put two in a row.
Ball thrown up. Foley and Smith. Foley taps it down into the path of Fitzsimmons. He can't gather. Smith over the top of this one as they crashed in on top of Anderson.
Have to be a repeat ball up. It's gone nowhere.
Up it goes. Smith uses strength down to the path of Fitzsimmons. He wins the free kick.
Yeah, Tom Anderson had hold of him.
Looks to go forward. He plays on now. Can go wide. Hand pass over the top. Looking for Smith. He wants it back. Can go wide to Moller. Can send this long and high. Under it is Wheeler. Punched by Seb Hamlin. It's on the ground there. Gathered by Schiller, but it's a good tackle there by Boston McCree, and the umpires called for a ball up. Good tackle on Edmonds by McCree. Up it goes. Foley taps it down into the path of Jack Powell, but coming through is Schiller. Met hard by Tom Anderson, and he's given away another one there, Tom. Didn't have possession, was young Crawford Foster. He quickly hand passes out to Mangapla, kicks long to the square. Under this is Wheeler, and it's punched through. No, not quite. Gathered by Seb Helen. One on to Tom Quinn. And it's out of bounds. In the pocket.
Desperation.
Near side pocket.
Desperation stakes in the Lions' back line.
Ball thrown in. Foley and Castles in the ruck. Down into the path of Ledden. He's tried to dodge one tackle. He's wrapped up, and the umpire's deemed to be caught with the ball. Good tackle, Boston McCree. Goes across goal. It's a dangerous kick. It's hit the deck. Racing for it is Tom Quinn, and it's bundled over the sideline.
Boundary lines beat him.
Pressure here for the Lions.
Have a throw in front of the Harris Rural Contractors. Sean and the team very busy, also looking for rain.
Gathered out of the rack by Foley. On to Matt Hamlin. Running out of defence here. One bounce, two bounces. Can go wide. Looking for Jake Taylor. Spoiled by Moller. Taylor regathers. Picks it up. He's tackled. Dives in on the ball. Moller steals it. Races away. Kicks it forward. Under this is Joe Foley. Goes through his hands. Grabbed by Boston McCree to Powell. Hand pass over the top to Sam Martin. Lions look to clear out of defence. Through the centre of the ground to Tom Anderson. He can run. Kicks it long. Goes long to Sid White, who takes the mark in the pocket.
It's the steadier that the Lions desperately needed. They look good streaming through the centre there, Andrew, with options.
He'll go back and have a shot. He's on a 20-degree angle, 15 metres out.
The Lions will be riding this one home, to state the obvious. He'll come in on that right foot. Drop punt. Yeah.
Umpire likes it.
Yeah, straight ahead. The goal umpire moves straight to the line to signal goal.
Second goal to Sid White, and it's a steadier for the Lions.
The Lions are 13-7-85. The goannas 10-12-72. Bit over 10 minutes gone in the final term at the Ganmain Sports Ground. Great effort from the goannas since half-time. They've had the better of the Lions. The Lions have got to pull out all stops here to hold the goannas. Plenty of changes on the interchange benches. Trying to get some fresh legs.
So we've got Foley, Anderson, Powell and Hamlin, Matt Hamlin in on this centre bounce. Ball's thrown up. Dan Foley tries to grab it out of the ruck. The umpire's called for a free kick. For what? I don't know. Holding, was it? It's coming back to Schiller. And it goes to Collins. He sends this long, looking for Wheeler again on the lead. Spoiled by Foley, gathered by Walsh. Quinn was the spoil, but it's out over the sideline for a throw-in.
That decision was given by the umpire off the play, Andrew, so...
Yes.
Interesting.
Don't know what it was for, but...
Might have been just a little hold.
Yes. Dan Foley grabs that out of the ruck. Gives a hand pass on to Tom Anderson. Takes one bounce. Coming through the centre of the ground. Can kick this centre half forward. Puts it out in front of Sid White. Ball bounces back behind him. Picked up by Cole. Gets a hand pass. Misses its target there. Gathered by Collins. Comes back to Reynoldsson there. He's under pressure. He looks to go back in defence. His kicks missed his target. That was gathered by Reynoldsson. That was Walker that missed the kick, and it comes on to Edmonds. He looks to come back through the ground, and he finds Woodhouse. He looks to play on quick. Can go long. Spoiled by Josh Walsh on Castles. It's gathered by Schiller. Comes out wide to Angel. Goes on his left foot. Finds Foley in front of the Mango box. He looks to come inside. He's got numbers there, but spoiled there by Jed Corwin. He's has the ball on the ground there with Greenway. His ball spills out. Comes to Collins there. Looks to send this long. High it is. Numbers under there. Coming through his Wheeler. The ball's on the ground. Grabbed by Seb Hamlin over the top to Matt Hamlin. He's under pressure. Chased by Wheeler. Gets a hand pass back to Jake Underwood. Can get one over the top out in front of Matt Hamlin. He races it for this one. Gets a hand pass back inside to Tom Quinn, who's there for support. Back to Matt Hamlin. He's running down that wing. He can kick long, looking for Sid White. It's gone over his head, and it's going to roll over the sidelines in that forward pocket.
So we'll have a throw-in out there on in the Lions attacking pocket, southern end of the ground, that area of the ground with Price's Furniture. Good play out there by Jake Underwood. He didn't panic. He gave the handball, Andrew.
Yep.
Could have just blazed away with a nothing kick.
Powell's been caught high there. It has to be a free kick. in that ruck, after that ruck contest. He'll go back and have a shot.
.35 out, or he'll have to kick from 35. Fairly tight to the boundary line. Still no breeze. Perfect conditions. 14 minutes gone. Last quarter, the Den. Right foot, drop
Kicks
punt.
on its way.
No, umpire waves it away.
Yep. 5 goals, 5 to Jack Powell.
Lions 13-8, 86. Goannas 10-12, 72. 14 minutes gone.
Collins looks to go to the far side. Plays on, kicks this long, but sitting under it is Boston McCree. It's gone through his hands, marked by Foley over the back. He quickly plays on. He's got one all alone in defence. Coming through is Burhop. Meets the ball first, regathers. Kicks wide, finds Sam Martin. Comes inside, finds Josh Walsh. Could have been a disaster then for the Lions. Wheeler was hanging back. He goes wide, finds Tom Quinn. He can chip short to Sam Martin, but it's hit the ground. Didn't hit its target. He plays on. Kick long, looking for Jeff Ropeck, but he's marked, but it's bundled over the sidelines. Couldn't quite gather that in. And
Throw in out there. We've got the Gamone Hotel and the Glenheath Park Super Borders. Nathan Kemba played today. He's 300th game for the club. Great to see.
Peck taps that down to Powell. He kicks this one high. Sitting under it is Butterfield. Coming through is Jed Corbett. He gathers. He's wrapped up in a tackle. And the umpire call for a ball up.
Ball up in the forward pocket. Southern end of the ground. The Lions attack.
Peck and Smith in the ruck. The ball's on the ground there. Mango try to clear. They do so through Foley. It's come wide looking for Castles. It's bounced over his head. Gathered by Joe Foley. He breaks the tackle. Ball spills free. On to Josh Walsh. On to Tom Quinn. Goes low and it's cut off by Smith. Mango looked to reset again.
Luck's a fortune on that occasion. The bounce didn't favour Castles, but that's the shape of this football, Andrew.
Good tackle by Sid White there on Harry Collins.
And rewarded.
Good pressure there from the Lions. They tried to handball that one out.
Yeah, copybook tackle there by Sid White. He'll have to let go from just inside the 50. It's achievable for him.
Kicks on its way. It looks good. It's a goal.
Steadier for the Lions.
That's his third. He's had a big season in the gym. Under that posterior is a muscle-bound dynamo, and that was a bone-crunching tackle on Collins. He didn't like it either, but it shook him. And the Lions get a bit of a breathing space.
But the Lions are now 14-8, 92. The visitors, Goannas, 13-12, 72. 17 minutes gone. Rucks again set themselves.
Foley and Smith in the ruck. Smith taps that down. Out the back is grabbed by Matt Hamlin, but he's wrapped up in a tackle. Play on, says the umpire. Gathered by Jesse Lander. And the umpire called for a ball up.
Back to a 20-point break now for the Lions.
Dan Foley taps that forward onto Nelson Foley for Mango. He can't get his kick away, and it's gathered up by Dan Foley. Another ball up. Dan Foley coming into the ruck. He gets a free kick here, Dan Foley. Kicks one over the top to Tom Anderson, who's pushed forward. He can kick this long, looking for Sid White. He sits under this one. It's gone over the back, charging through his Collins there. He gets his kick away and finds Foster there. Crawford Foster. He looks to come inside and finds Fitzsimmons. He holds it up there. He's got nothing to go through. Goes wide looking for Moller, but his kick's going to hit the ground. Chased by Powell. Can get his kick away looking for Pulver on that far wing. He looks to come inside. He's got Wheeler on a lead. Oh, Collins on the lead and takes a good mark. 55 from goal. He looks to send this long and deep. Sitting under it is Castles. He tries to mark. It goes through his hands. Ball's on the ground there. Gabbed by Tom Quinn. Seb Hamlin on to Sam Martin to Boston McCree out in front of Tom Quinn. He's got to gather this one back in. Boston McCree's followed him up. Tries to dodge around one. Gets his kick away. Looking for Butterfield long, and it's going to go over the sideline in defence.
Throw
Good
in
effort there by Boston McCree.
Throw in front of the Gammain Bakery. Great sponsors of the Lions. They put all those products together. We sell here at the canteen.
All thrown in. Smith taps that down into the path of Sam Martin, but he's wrapped up in a tackle by Sam Schiller, and the umpire will call for a ball up.
19 minutes gone here in the final term. Lions 13-8. Sorry, 14-8, 92. Goannas 10-12, 72. 20 points to the margin.
Peck taps that down, but it's taken away by Ledner. He cheering, click out of defence. He finds Polver there on the wing. He plays on quickly, kicks this long, looking for Wheeler at centre forward. He's got a break on his opponent, and he marks in front of Burhop.
He's got a safe pair of hands, Andrew.
Very good pair of hands, and he's lining up for his 5th goal. He's
He had a break on Zach Burhop at that occasion. Never took his eyes off the ball. Right foot, drop punt.
Kick looks good.
All the way, goal umpire doesn't move.
It's a goal.
Goannas saying they're not done yet. Almost the 20.5 minute mark. The Lions 14-8, 92. Goannas 11-12, 78. Plenty of time. Lions have got to keep scoring to win it, Andrew. They can't defend.
No, they've got to need another goal here. Smith wins that tap down into the path of Matt Hamlin. He comes through hard, gathered by Dan Foley. Hand pass back from Jesse Lander to Foley, gathered by Boston McCree. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Foley, Nelson has it, kicks this one forward, looking for Mangaplar opponent there, gathered by Tom Quinn, gets his hand pass away on to Seb Hamlin to Zach Burhop. He can send this one long and low and finds Lucas Hattie. Pinpoint pass over the top of Crawford Foster for Mangaplar. He kicks this high down the line, sitting under this is Peck. Collins comes through and spoils. Oh, it's a free kick to Peck. He's copped him high. Jeffro Peck's kick.
Right down below the commentary position. Jethro's got a bit of a hole up there.
You've got Tom Anderson on the lead, but can't find the target. Comes back to Tom Anderson. He swings around on his right, kicks this long, but it's drifted out on the full. Mango to bring this back in. They look to switch across goals here through Collins. He takes the one bounce, 2 bounces, kicks it out of defence. Long, looking for Pulver. He takes the mark in front of Joe Foley. Plays on quickly, sends this long, looking for Nelson Foley. Good saving mark there by Tom Quinn. Chips this one short.
Had to stand his ground under the pack. He knew the crunch could come, Andrew.
He certainly did. Out to Matt Hamlin, on to Sam Martin, that far wing. Chips one short for Joe Foley. Back to Sam Martin. He's got to come back to Joe Foley. Looks to send this one in long and high. Numbers under this one. Powell flies. The ball's on the ground there. Gathered by Mangaplar. And it's going to be wrapped up in a tackle here by Powell. Swings around on his left. It's going high. Sitting under this one is Cole in the goal square, and he marks. He plays on quickly. Kicks this one long and high. Sitting under it is Lance. On the ground there is Tom Anderson. Gathered by Lucas Hattie. And then the ball comes out to Harry Collins. He's wrapped up in a tackle, and the umpire will call for a ball up.
Goannas defending grimly, you'd have to say, here in the dying stages of the clash here at the Den. 23 minutes gone now.
Lance with front position, taps that down, but it's gathered by Mango. They're over the ball here. Collins has got it. It's gone through his legs. It's gathered by Fitzsimmons. One over the top to Crawford Foster. Back to Fitzsimmons. He looks to come inside. Back to Crawford Foster. On to Schiller. On to Foley. He fumbles a handball. Comes back on his right. Back to Castles. He's got to come back to Foley. They're cramming him on the sidelines here. Schiller looks to come inside. Sam Martin spoils from behind. Regathers. On to Jake Taylor. Sends this one long. Looking for Butterfield in the pocket. It bounces in front of him. He gathers. Hand passes over the top to Jake Underwood. Tries to gather this one in. And he's wrapped up in a tackle, and the umpire will call for a ball up 15 metres out from goal.
Ball held to him there in front of the Lions attacking goal, southern end of the ground. Ball up 20 metres out.
Lance in the ruck. Smith from behind punches it forward. Gathered by Jake Taylor. Swings around on his right. Sends this one forward for goal, and it's a great mark from behind by Sid White. He's marked this out 10 metres out from goal on a tight angle.
Yeah, had eyes on it all the way.
Good strong hands.
One grab, Andrew. Acute angle. Sun behind him, no wind. Pops it round.
Tries the check side, but no
one
luck.
behind,
One
across
behind.
the face. That'll take the Lions to 14-9, 93. The goannas 11-12.
Collins looks to bring this in. He was going to come broadcasting side, but he goes long and high up the centre of the ground. Under this is Smith. Takes a good mark in front of Dan Foley. Goes wide. He's got Zach Walker wide. He looks to move it forward there. Pulver dodges around Joe Foley. Sends this one long and low, looking for Flynn Collins. Spoiled by Seb Hamlin there. The ball's over the back there. Gathered by Burhop. He takes it in. Short pass and finds Dan Foley in the centre of the ground. Tells his teammates to slow her down. He can go wide. Finds Sam Martin.
The clock will be their friend now, the Lions, I think, Andrew.
He can go over the top to Joe Foley. He marks on that wing. He holds it up. Goes over the top to Shannon Butterfield. Keep this one long and low, looking for Sid White. Takes a good strong mark in front of his opponent. Can play on quickly. Ball's going to drop short, and it's good mark by Reynoldsson in front of Powell. Mangaplar cut that one off. Looks to go up the guts. Through the centre of the ground, finds Sam Schiller. He plays on quickly, chips one over the top, looking for Castle. Good spoil by Boston McCree, but Castle regathers. Can play on quickly. Kicks this one forward, and Josh Walsh chimes in. Ball hits the ground. Good tackle there. Ball spills free. Back to Schiller. Comes wide. Numbers here for the Lions. Charging through as Lucas Hattie. Looks to clear this one to Shannon Butterfield. Gets his hand pass away to Tom Anderson's. It's at his toes. Comes back to Sam Martin. Chased hard. Goes wide looking for Matt Hamlin. Gathers it in. Gets a hand pass up to Ashton Lance, and it's game over.
Final siren, Gammain Sports Ground, the Lions 14-9, 93, the goannas 11-12, 78. A very valiant goannas come back, had the best, most of the best play since half time, I figure, Andrew, but Lions were good enough to regroup. They saw out,
didn't they?
They responded to the goannas charge. Sam Martin asked his players at three-quarter time to the back line, move up the ground. We've got to attack. But a pretty good effort by both sides today. Pretty good standard of Riverina football, I reckon. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, the ball moved pretty fluently, and there was, those senior players from the Lions, Matt Hamlin and Tom Anderson, Dan Foley, Zach Burhop, Seb Hamlin in defence. And it was a great first game for Boston McCree, I thought. He was very good there across half-back.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't look out of place at all.
And of course, up forward, Jack Powell kicking 5 and chimed in Sid White with 3. Some of those smaller forwards like Jake Taylor, Matty Hamlin contributed there.
Of course, no coincidence, Andrew, that the goannas got that run on while Dan Foley was benched for that misdemeanour.
Yes, and when he came into the ruck, that sort of added a bit of physicality there at that centre bounce. The Lions were well beaten out of the centre in those first 10 minutes, and he stemmed the flow there, gave the Lions midfielders first use of the ball, and
yeah, physicality and experience come back into
ball
it.
Moving forward then, and that resulted on goals and scores on the board.
So that's the situation here as we round out the day here at the Gammain Sports Ground. The Lions 14-9-93, the Goannas 11-12-78. Where are we off to next week, Andrew?
We're off to Griffith, Guy, to play the Griffith Swans on Saturday, who had a win last night against the Narrandera Eagles, so they'll be up and about.
The Swans will be up and about as the Lions make the big trip down to the irrigation area. Looks like the weather, it'll be probably great weather down there for that game, so we look forward to, we won't be broadcasting down there. We'll have a day off and enjoy that football down there, but we'll be back ready for the next home game. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Baz, Tammy and Andrew.
Thank you.